Obviously excited about the outcome. Very excited how we played. Really, really total team effort. There's some things we got to continue to clean up on ST. We had one kickoff return, then we had Cade trying to do too much on a punt return, and again, Cade's been so amazing at punt return. It's hard to get too mad at Cade with his decisions because he makes good decisions. He's been spectacular, and just tried to do too much. Just try to make something out of nothing, and came back to bite us. Obviously, defense gives up an opening drive. They give up 7 points the rest of the game. They did a good job of taking their slot receivers. A really good player, has been dynamic. We did a really good job of taking him out of the game, which was the plan. At times it might have allowed them to do some other things, but we still took their main weapon out of the game, which kept the points down. Offensively, obviously, we ran for 200, threw for 200. Obviously, passing game is headed in the right direction. Timing, we talk about timing all the time, and we have not had – our timing has not been good for a lot of different reasons, and we've been working really hard at it, and our timing was really good on Saturday on just about everything we did. Protection was good. Routes were really good. We caught the daylights out of the ball. But to me, like we said after the game, I don't feel like different. The key of the game is it's 7-7. We jump on them early with the big play, and then they come right back and score, so we're kind of right back where we started 10 minutes ago in the first quarter, kind of like the opening kickoff, and kind of go back and forth. And we pin them deep. We get a great pooch to the 8. We get a stop. Cade at one point was on their 44, so if we just go down there, we got 1st and 10 on the 44, and we're doing what we want to do, and Cade fumbles. Defense, huge stop, and then the next series, they've got a third and 1, 3rd and a half. We stuff a quarterback sneak. Hondru and the guys up front stuff the quarterback sneak. Then the 4th down play, Sally beats a block. They're in our plus territory. Sally beats a block, causes a fumble. Cy gets on it. Not only did we get a huge stop at 7-7, but we flipped the field back. We're on shorter field. And again, just like we're talking about how you play team football, how we want to play at Miami, how we've played here for a long time, complementary football, like our offense takes advantage of a huge stop by our defense and gets 7 points. We drive down and get 7. Now it's 14-7. So they're sitting there at 3rd and a half plus territory at 7-7. Next thing you know, it's 14-7. The next series, Sally gets the pick, and we punch that one in. In a 5-minute span, it went from 7-7 on the road, 3rd and a half, to 21-7, just like that. And again, defense with 2 back-to-back huge, 1 stop, 1 pick, and then again, offense getting 7. Like driving down and getting 7 points, not settling for field goal, not turning the ball, whatever it is. We got to. So now you're going half 21-7. You feel pretty good. Third quarter, they have the long drive, and we stop them again. We go 3 and out. They go on a long drive and score. So now they've run 25 plays in the third quarter. We've run 3. There's 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. And again, okay, now it's 21-14. They obviously clearly have momentum. We go right down and score immediately. 5 plays later, we're in the end zone, it's 20-14. So to me, the 2 keys, defense in the first half with back-to-back huge stops when we were up against it, and then the offense responding in the late third. We score in the early fourth, but we took over late third. When, again, it looked like, okay, it's looking pretty good for Eastern right now. We jump right back at them and score. And then fourth quarter, obviously, good job by our defense and offense. 2 really nice drives, one for a field goal to basically end it, and then another one to really end it when we score the touchdown. So, obviously, Eli had a great game, 18 tackles, but even more than that, he was just all over the field with a ton of intent and very sure of himself, and he just continues to grow in his confidence and his play, which, again, as a first-year starter, as you go, and if you're going to become a good guy, you're going to get better each week, and that's what he's doing. Some guys kind of level off when they get in the obviously, Hondru stepping in for Ty Wise. Ty Wise out again and doing a tremendous job just being our every down Mike linebacker. The last 2 weeks he's had to do it. Credit to Ty, did not practice all week, didn't even put pads on all week, has had multiple injuries, has been really working hard to get back, and then, him and Coach Breeken had a good plan, hey, I'm feeling pretty good, I know I can't play, but could I do some pass rush stuff? And he was got a couple sacks, and obviously anything, again, which where we're at health-wise, anybody that can do anything to help us has got to do it. We're just down. So even just chipping in on third down, which, again, obviously was huge because he's a tremendous pass rusher. Back end of our defense was way better, way more active, way more involved in the game. A lot of young guys starting to get their feet underneath them, starting to get their footing, starting to get some confidence. Again, do we make some plays? Yeah, we made some plays, but we contested a lot of plays, and we forced some bad throws because we were in windows or we're breaking on routes. And it's just, if you just watch the back end, there's just so much more activity back there and so much more sure of themselves, of their movements. Like, just, hey, this is where I need to be. I'm going to go get there. I'm not like, I think I need to be there, and I'm kind of hesitant. Well, it's too late then. Bam, balls. So much better from there. Obviously, offensively, Reggie has a huge first half, gets dinged, he's out. Obviously, he's having a great game. So we had Dre and Cam set up to kind of, which they're perfectly capable of stepping and making plays. Cam comes in and makes a huge play. All right, and again, would have been Reggie, And then Cole Weaver, there's just one situation that we had Cole Weaver on, put him on the script at halftime, and the beautiful thing, I call him over at halftime, I said, Cole, you're in two state, and he looked at me, and I'm like, I don't think I want to put him in. Like, he hasn't played all year. I'm like, I don't want to put him in because that's a look. But this is like, again, we all forget that these are still young men, kids/young men. Like, and his look was like, and I don't put anybody in the game that I don't like to look in their eyes. Like, I'm big on that. Like, I'm like, wrong, bad decision, Chuck. Like, don't put a scared freshman in there that obviously doesn't. And I'm like, you all right? He's like, but I'm holding up the signs. So he's holding up the personnel signs. So he's not giving me the look because he's afraid to go in the game. He's giving me the look because, like, well, I'm holding up signs, but if you call two state, do I have to hold up the sign and then go in the game? Or like, that's like, it's just like, he's like, that was what he was concerned with. Like, who's going to hold the signs if I go in the game? Like, that's my job. First half, I was holding up personnel signs, Because again, all hands on deck. We're not some big Power 5 that has 86,000 assistants. We got players holding up signs, Ohio State's got a guy making $100,000 a year holding up that sign. We got Cole Weaver, So, like, what I took as he's unsure of himself, doesn't want to go to the game, it wasn't that. It was just, who's going to do my other job? Like, I got another job I'm doing here, Coach. So he's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, okay, don't worry about the signs. We'll find somebody to hold up a sign, all right? And then he goes out, first play of the year. First play of the game, first play of the year, goes out. Brett makes a good read, makes a good throw, great catch, great finish, and it's first play of the year. He goes out. So again, just what you need, people stepping up and, people getting opportunities and being ready for the opportunities. It wasn't that he got the opportunities, that he was ready for it and made a heck of a play. Like, mentally, he was ready to go. Even though initially I thought it wasn't. He was just concerned about the sign holding. So, but really good team win and really good for just everybody. You're sitting at 1-4 and you think you got a good team and you're not hiding behind the schedule, but you're still like, I still think we got a good football team. And, Eastern's 4-1 and all week, they're really good and you're not really good. That's what you hear. And again, I'm not complaining about, that's reality. Like, that's not whining. That's just like I said, everywhere I went last week, what's the matter? What's the matter? How are you doing? Why are you guys not playing? I thought you guys were going to be good this year. You guys were so good last year. You're not any good. And that's just, again, and I'm thinking, well, I think we got a chance to be pretty good, but we got to do it. You got to start. And so one step in the right direction. We have certainly not arrived. We did a lot of things better than we've done. Can we continue to push forward? Like, everybody with half the season gone are trying to continue. The good teams continue to get better. The other teams level off or fade off. So, like, it was a nice move in the right direction for Miami football, and a lot of guys contributed, and we had a lot of guys hurt, and a lot of guys stepped up and played, and we got young guys, watching the tape on the bus home, we have 8 freshmen running down on kickoff. Like, 8 of the 11 guys on kickoff are freshmen. I was like, all right, I didn't really like that one kickoff, but okay, we got a lot of young guys, and again, we have backups hurt, we have starters hurt, we have their backups hurt, sometimes we are 3 deep hurt. So it's like, let's say Caleb Martin's run down a kickoff. Like, he's been on scout team all year. He has not done anything with our varsity. He's been on scout special teams. He's been on scout defense. We think Caleb's going to be a really good player here. We're really excited about Caleb. But then all of a sudden on Tuesday, like, we better get him ready on kickoff because we're short. Well, Caleb could do it. I think Caleb's going to be a really good player. And, well, Tuesday's a backup. But as the week goes on and you have more problems, like, Next time I just run down and start, and like, oh, he went from, hey, I think Caleb can do it, to, hey, Caleb's a guy. He better be able to do it, So, and again, more than capable, we got a lot of good young players here that we're excited about that are getting opportunities, and I think they're excited about it. They're learning on the fly like this isn't high school. Like high school, I just ran down there and killed everybody, and that's why I'm a Division I football player, right? That's how I got here. Where now they were like me, like this is, and they're even on kickoff, they're feeling like this stuff happens fast, and you hesitate at all, and it's too, it's not even that you can't make the play. You just mental hesitation causes, on defense. So you got to make decisions. You got to go with them. You got to play. You can't and that's young guys like to not be wrong. Well, you don't have time to figure out if you're wrong or right. You got to go. So, but a lot of guys contributed, and we're gonna need that the same thing this week, next week for the rest of the season.
Coach, yeah, you mentioned Eastern countered the Brett Gabbert bomb to Virgil, but how much did that impact your guys' mindset, and could we see more aggressiveness from the offense from that standpoint?
Yeah, obviously it's a huge play anytime you get off to a good start and you get your head up and you get feeling good about yourself, offensively, defensively, you get a big play, special, whatever it is, getting a big play. So again, just gets everybody feeling good. Like, and when you feel good and you're confident, doesn't matter what you're doing. You're doing yard work and you feel good and you're confident, you're probably going to do a heck of a job in the yard. Like it does, that's just life. Like, and how you feel and where your confidence level is everything, So for the whole team, it's just a great way to start on the road and make a big play. And again, yeah, we want to be aggressive offensively. We got him on a play fake. I was anticipating throwing the over. Like, we hadn't thrown the post. I said, we hadn't thrown the post. We ran post over. Everybody in the world runs post over. It wasn't a magical play. Like, we ran play action post over like everybody runs, And they do a good job of keeping their high hole guy in the high hole. For whatever reason, he wasn't there. So we had thrown the over all week. I thought we were going to throw the over for hopefully a big chunk play, not a touchdown, but hopefully a chunk pass off the start and get off to a good start. But the high hole guy was on the over and created 1-1. Good job by Brett. Even though we had showed him what we thought they were going to do all week, he read it out, and it was 1-on-1. He took his 1-on-1 shot. So was it designed to get 70? Probably not, but we'll take it,
Coach, your pass rush has started to get home a little more, and you had 3 sacks this week. How important is that then this week leading into a mobile quarterback opponent against Ohio?
Yeah, it's huge because tremendously mobile. Like, he can run, he's fast, he's twitchy, he's athletic, he loves to run, loves to scramble. They have some zone read, they have some Q design runs, but he's very dangerous running, scrambling. Obviously, rush lanes are going to be huge this week. So, obviously, as you get your pass rush going, obviously it affects everything, and coverage affects pass rush affects coverage. I think our coverage is a little better. I think we took away some first reads, gave our guys a little more time, and give them a little time to get home, They get home quickly, went off the coverage line. So it all works together. Then also playing from the lead, you get to 28-14. Now they're still running, but they're throwing it more often. You know what I mean? And then you get to the fourth quarter, now they got to throw it in again. We haven't played with many leads this year, So it's like part of like there's a lot of things we need to do better and are working hard to do better, but some of it too, game dictates too. When you're playing from behind, like, what's the matter with you? You're not getting any sacks this year. Well, we're not up. We're not in the lead, and they're throwing, and we're teeing off. At the end of the game, it looked pretty good because we knew they had to throw it, and our guys, So if you can get leads and get them to be one-dimensional, certainly helps the pass rush also.
Coach, I know you've got a lot of people banged up at this stage, to put it mildly. What about people like Virgil with the big hit, and Nank, and that? Any ideas, first impressions?
Yeah, we're hopeful with Reggie. We're going through, like everyone, the nice thing, there's a nice protocol in place to figure out when it's safe to return. So we're hopeful with him. It's still too early. He's got to pass. There's there's an everyday something that you have to clear to get to the next day. So, but he's doing well. Like, he's doing well. So he's Nank, we're still waiting to see. His will be probably harder to get him back ready for this week. I know his mind, he's going to be back ready for this week. I know the trainer's minds, his will be, But again, the nice thing with him is if he can get like Ty didn't do anything, but Ty's played enough football. If you feel good on Saturday morning, it's not like some young guy that, hey, if he doesn't practice all week, yeah, we can say he's ready to play, but he's not ready to play. Where Pete or Chuck's been here forever and played a ton of football and really knows. So if we can get him, by Saturday by 3:30, if he's feeling good enough, we'll get him out there.
I'm not sure if it was related to the protection or what, but this looked like a little bit of Brett of old. He really seemed to be in form Saturday. How'd you feel about him?
Yeah, definitely. I feel exactly what you said. I feel like he looked like himself. He's looked like himself in spurts this year, and at other times he hasn't looked like himself, and he looks like he's close to himself. I don't know that he's totally felt like himself. I think in different times in games, I think he has. I think he's gotten a good place and gotten a good rhythm. But, the whole game, he managed the game good. He saw, whether it be a protection check or whatever it was, he managed the game really good from mental standpoint. Which he's made some mistakes in that area, which he never makes. But again, that just tells you that there's other things going on in his head too, And then just the time in the pass, like guys were open. There's some tight windows. Brett's throwing the ball in tight windows. Like that's never been an issue. Brett throwing the ball in tight windows, and he threw the ball in some of the inside verticals. They weren't. Most people don't even throw those balls. He's throwing them in there easy for big plays for us. So time was really good. He ran good. He scrambled. Like I don't know. I'm with you. He looked like himself, and he's looked close to himself, but he hasn't looked exactly like himself yet. And I know he's been trying to get there and frustrated, because he has such a high expectation of himself, and he knows the level he's played at for a like I said, long before he got to Miami, he was, he's a guy that played mistake-free football. He's a guy that made great decisions. Guys that always compete. Now he's competed just as hard as he ever has competed, but just everything else has just been, just a hair off, So it was nice to see we got in good rhythm, got in good time. He's 10 for 13, and 222 yards and 4 touchdowns, and threw it to a bunch of different guys, and throws it, when he's on, he throws it to the open guy. He don't care. He's not staring at a receiver, just trying to throw the ball to Cade or Javon, or he'll throw the ball. They were doubling Cade from the get-go. They double Cade, not every snap the whole game, but they double Cade a ton. Well, there's ball. Brett's just, okay, you're doubling him. The ball's got to go to the guy that's one-on-one, the guy that's open. So it was a very, very good day from that standpoint.
Coach, you're approaching Randy Walker, 59. I think you got 58 wins. Can you comment on that and the significance of your next win, if you wanted to kind of hone in on that?
I've been here a long time, That's probably the biggest thing. Like, pretty cool would be the second thing for me. I'm a huge football fan. I'm a huge Randy Walker fan. I didn't really know Randy. I coached against him as a coach, opposing coach, as an assistant coach, and knew how his teams were tough and physical. And I was like, me and Tammy have got to know each other really well, and she's been amazing supportive, not just me, Miami football, Miami University. She's an alum. She loves this place, And again, I always try to say, I think like when we're playing good and like we're playing the way we were capable of playing, I would say like the MAC championship game, she hit me right after the game, and it was like, I said, I think Randy would have approved today. I think like of how not the win. Of course, Randy and Tam will all be happy. Miami wins. They're both alums, and Randy's up there watching us, and you're like, but I think he improved how we, like when we're like, and she says, yeah, your teams remind me of his teams, how they play. And so to me, that's pretty huge compliment coming from Randy Walker's wife. So it'd be pretty cool, obviously.